Nice. Oh my gosh. My face was stuck in this like really scary look. It can be hard to look at yourself on Zoom sometimes. Okay. Today, what I wanted to do in this video is I wanted to share how I work through some things with myself in this area of being a sober sister along with you. Okay, so I got an email this morning from a dear friend, a good friend. I'm in a circle of women who do quite a few things together here and there. And I am part of the group, I would say. I don't necessarily feel like maybe as integrated into the group as I do in some of my other female friend groups. But anyway, this group is going to be taking a trip, and I'm going to be going along too. And it's with partners as well, not just the women in this group. And it's going to be going somewhere international. So it's like a pretty big trip to, an investment and getting a babysitter to watch the kids and going to a new place and um, yeah. So anyway, I got the email this morning and which is so great. They're like giving their itinerary and they're wanting people to contribute and they're wanting to hear like what people want to do when we're on this like 5-day trip. And at the end of each day, I mean, they talk about like what to do. And so at the end of everything, it's like, and going out for drinks, it's like drinks, then we go to dinner, and then we go out and party. And that's like pretty clear on every day, right? I'm also the only person in this group who does not drink. And so yeah, so reading that email this morning, I just sort of noticed how I felt when I read that. Um, I kind of felt like my body felt tense. I noticed a lot of stories kind of coming up, like a lot of thoughts were starting to come, like, how am I gonna do this? Like, can I get away? I am someone who not only doesn't drink, but I also, because I don't drink, I don't tend to stay up very late either. Um, I've never really been a night person. I've always been a morning person, and I think drinking artificially would keep me up, but it was never like a keeping up where I was feeling more energized. I mean, usually I would just get more tired and get drunk and then go home. Go pass out in bed. But anyway, so I had thoughts like, how can I get away? I'm in another country. Will I be able to get home? Will I be the only one going home? How will people the next day, I'm already predicting the future here, right? So the next day I'll be not feeling as connected with the rest of the group because they'll all go out and they'll have these like stories of how they partied and what happened, and I'm going to be feeling an outsider in that. I also don't really even have my husband in that. My husband will stay out. I mean, maybe there'll be one night where he will come home, but I will imagine my husband will also stay out. Oh, he's always the fun one. He's the one that I'm actually probably not even, some of the other thoughts that came up my mind. I'm actually probably not even the person they wanted to invite. They probably wanted to invite my husband because he will stay out and party and have a good time, and he's a great guy. And, but because he's going, they have to invite me. Okay. So, so there's that. And I know every single one of you all can resonate with that, right? Like, and this could be a situation that doesn't even have to do with drinking. This could be just a situation about anything in life. But we have a moment where we feel uncomfortable, and then or we're just having a lot of thoughts, which then make us feel uncomfortable, right? Like I could have read that email, and if I wouldn't have had any thoughts about it, then I would have just been reading an email. That's how simple that would have been. But the thoughts that came after reading that email was where the suffering came in. Okay, so that's one thing that I'll build upon, hopefully, if I can remember to do that in a minute. The second thing was what I call time traveling. So, in that moment on the couch, while I was reading that email, I was on the couch with my coffee and nothing was happening. I was literally on the couch with my coffee, reading an email. But I was projecting and thinking of my future self and how can I protect that future self. I was time traveling to the future, and that time traveling aspect versus being and where I was in the direct experience was creating a lot of suffering. Now, could I have controlled the thoughts that came? No, those thoughts come. Everything in the way that I see the world is that things spontaneously happen. And I know this might feel a little bit like beyond what a lot of people believe, but I don't really believe I have control over anything in life. So the things that were coming up were just coming up. My chattering in my mind was my old conditioning, my old patterns that was a typical thing that this particular brain does. To have all that said, I don't control any of that, you know. Um, I don't even control, in my opinion, how I started to start seeing through that a little bit. So, what I started to see, and I actually probably, I don't know if I saw it then. I don't think I saw what I'm about to share until I started going for a walk. Movement for me tends to be very healthy, and it tends to be when I don't know, like I'm gonna make an association that wisdom seems to come to me more when I'm moving a bit. So, or I'll be I intentionally try to coach myself through this. And so the way that I kind of coached myself through this was number one, to just see that those thoughts that were coming up were conditioned and are not really me. So I don't believe that thoughts are mine. And I believe that thoughts just kind of come and I don't decide, but what my habit is, my old habit, and still this habit still continues from time to time. I'm starting to see this through as well. But my habit is to see that those thoughts are me. That is Jennifer having these thoughts about that event. And when I can see that thoughts just come from, and I mean, who knows where our thoughts come from? I mean, I could try to understand that. I could try to understand. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of a morning person. Did I choose to be a morning person? No, I was just kind of like, that's maybe probably my genetics. Maybe my mom always put me to bed really early, and so I still like going to bed really early. None of that did I choose. Did I choose to stop drinking? I don't know. I honestly think that stopping drinking kind of was an accumulation of a lot of life experiences that I also didn't have control over. You know, when I went to did I decide to go to the high school that I went to? I didn't. My parents chose that for me because I don't think they choose either. But, you know, that was a decision that was made for me. And did I decide to make the friends that I made, and then who introduced alcohol to me, you know? So when you peel back the layers and you say you chose these things, personally, I don't believe that. I believe life just kind of happens. And so when we believe in that way, it kind of frees us up a bit. So I could see, okay, going back to this experience and trying to figure out kind of how to work with myself after reading that email is number one, I don't even know if I'm going to be on this trip, right? I don't even know that yet. I mean, who knows what could happen? God forbid I hurt my ankle before the trip and I can't go because I can't walk, right? I mean, there's that. There is suffering when we live in the past or we live in the future. I might have told myself a story of the last time I hung out with this group and I didn't drink and everybody else did, and that felt uncomfortable, right? And I remember that discomfort. So then I'm suffering because I'm remembering that. I'm remembering the past. Or I'm suffering because I'm thinking about myself in that same situation in the future. So when I can just see that, okay, Jen, you are time traveling. Where are you right now? That's all I ever have. All I ever have is right now. And so, okay, my nervous system kind of can like to take a breath, okay, you're outside on a walk, that's all there is. That's all there is. I'm outside on a walk. So that settles myself right away when I can remember that. And then also when I can sort of see that a conditioned brain can only do what it does, which is old experiences, and it might replay it and it might rehash it. But when I can see that I don't have to give those thoughts so much attention, I can see that that's what my mind is doing. I can see that my mind is wanting to figure this shit out. It wants to figure it out. It wants to make me safe. That is the job of the brain. The job of the brain is to keep us safe and to keep us in this protected spot. But I was safe all along. I was safe on the couch when I was reading the email. I was safe on the walk. I was safe the whole time. So when I can just see, oh yeah, that's the chattering mind. That's not me. Where am I? Where am I? My awareness is here. And just like if I treat thoughts the same way that I treat everything else, if I treat thoughts like sound and seeing and feeling, then they don't get so much like priority, Do I prioritize the bird that also just flew over my head? Because that's also in my experience. Like I don't own that bird. I didn't choose that bird to go over my head. Same thing with thoughts. I didn't choose those thoughts. I don't have to give those thoughts so much attention. So when I just see my thoughts as this chattering little guy over here, I'm gonna call it a guy because whatever. um, go ahead, talk, chatter. It's fine, and I get caught up in it just like everybody else does, but I'm learning not to get, my being is understanding that I don't have to get caught up in that as much either. And what I am trying to do in today's video is maybe sprinkle some seeds of seeing through some of that as well, because seeing through this can bring us so much peace and contentment. We're still going to feel things, we're still going to have moods, we're still going to have hard things happen in life. But when we don't give our thoughts so much attention, it's really freeing. So that's the other thing that I saw in this was, all right, yeah, I can tell that's pretty predictable that my mind would get really caught up in all of that. And then the third thing, and I think this is the final thing I'll share in today's video about this experience, was that all feelings are safe. When I was reading the email and I could sense the oh my God in my body, because I don't even want to label it. I think labeling feelings actually, at some point that was useful. At some point it was useful to label it as anxiety or panic or oh my God, how am I going to do this? Who knows? Fear. At some point that was helpful, and I certainly try to help my kids label their emotions and that kind of thing. I mean, I used to. I don't really feel like I do that much anymore, but now when I kind of lose the labels, but I sense what I'm feeling in my body. So I was feeling tension, I was feeling upset stomach, and then I just was with that. I was just with that. All right, let me just be with what this is. It's safe. It's coming up. It's a wave. It will not stay. It will come and go. Welcome to stay. No. Welcome to come. Welcome to stay. Welcome to go. That is how I am kind of navigating feelings and emotions. And so even if I want to time travel and think about my future self out at this party, or at the party hour night, and I got to be like, okay, well, I'm going home, and I might feel something, or the next day if I'm feeling like everybody's getting along, and you kind of have to watch that too, right? Are you really on the outside, or is that just a storyline that's happening for you right now? What is the proof of that? Is someone actually talking to you and you're still saying you're on the outside, but yet someone's engaging you? I don't know. Questioning, again, just not paying attention, just not giving so much attention to those thoughts is really powerful. But even if I am having some hard, difficult feelings, just being with them, okay, that's what's here right now. And I think when we have that opening to that, the openness to that, okay, this is what's here. It doesn't cause as much problem. It's just like, all right, she's letting me be here. Cool. Well, I'll move on now. This isn't so interesting to me anymore. So, if any of this resonated with you, this is the kind of coaching that I'm interested in doing with my people. I don't know what it's called. I don't think it has a name. I don't think it has to have a name, but from my current understanding of my own coaching and my own work, working with thoughts, working with our bodies, working with our way that we're seeing the world. If any of this feels attractive to you, please know we can always chat and have like a coaching session together because I just wanted to share how I coach myself, um, because the conditioned Jen has a lot of apprehension about this upcoming trip. But the aware, I am one with you, you are one with me, Jen, it's going to be just fine. So, all right, I hope that was helpful. That's probably definitely not what you expected to hear from me today, but I hope that I don't know if you watched it and it resonated with you. That's lovely, and I'm here for it. I'm walking all this right along beside you, and you're not alone. Yeah, just you're never alone. So, all right, thanks for being here. See you soon.